Emma Calloway was standing in the bathroom of her small studio apartment in Columbus, Ohio. She was holding a box of brown hair dye in her hands. It felt like this box was her ticket to a new life. The girl she saw in the mirror had crazy red curly hair that went down past her shoulders. People always stopped her on the street to tell her how much they loved her hair. Her hair was what people always noticed about her. That was exactly why she wanted to change it. Emma Calloway needed to get rid of her hair because it was too much. 3 weeks ago, she was working at a busy diner in Chicago. She had the morning shift. One morning, she was walking around the counter. She walked too fast. She did not see that her tray was too close to the back of a chair. A man was sitting in that chair. He was a man. She spilled a cup of black coffee all over the back of his white shirt. The man stood up slowly. You know how people do that when they are trying to decide if they should get really mad or not? The coffee had gone over his white Oxford shirt. She had dumped the cup of coffee on him. He turned around. Emma saw a sharp jaw, dark eyes, and an expression that was not quite fury, but close enough to make her stomach drop. She had apologized away, grabbed a cloth napkin, and tried to help him clean up the mess. The man told Emma in a calm and very cold voice that Emma did not need to touch his shirt. She told him that he did not need to use that tone with the person who was trying to help her because sometimes her mouth spoke before she thought about what she was saying. The woman and the man stared at each other for 4 seconds. Then he left a $5 bill on the table to pay for the $42 breakfast they had. He walked out. Her coworker Donna had pulled up a photo on her phone 20 minutes later. The photo was of Ryan Whitfield. Ryan Whitfield is 34 years old. He is the founder and majority owner of Whitfield Digital, a company that makes software and infrastructure. Whitfield Digital is a company valued at more than $9 billion. Emma had sat down on a milk crate in the back kitchen. She stared at the phone screen for a really long time looking at Ryan Whitfield's photo. She had looked him up on Google that night. Then she did it again the night. She did not know why she was doing this. The man had been very rude to her. The tip he left was actually an insult. She had done nothing, and she should not feel bad about what happened. She could not stop thinking about the man and the way he looked at her, not the angry part, but something else underneath that. It was like he was tired, really tired. Like someone who had been running around for a long time and was getting exhausted. None of that mattered now. What mattered was that Emma had just received the phone call of her career. This phone call was really important for Emma. The phone call that Emma got was the one she had been waiting for. Emma was very excited about this phone call. Donna Hale, the owner of the Claridge Peak Resort in Aspen, found Emma through someone they both know and offered her a contract to plan events for 6 weeks. The Claridge Peak Resort has 3 corporate retreats every winter. The lady who usually plans these events hurt her ankle in November. Emma has been planning events on her own on weekends for 2 years now. She has been doing this on the side while working as a waitress during the week. She has been quietly building up her list of events she has planned. This contract with the Claridge Peak Resort is a deal for Emma. If she does a job, she can finally plan events full-time. The Claridge Peak Resort contract is what Emma needs to make her event planning business take off. This was the thing that she had been working for in her time. She had put in a lot of effort. It was everything that she had worked toward. The thing that she had wanted was finally. It was everything she had worked toward. The problem was that the Claridge Peak's most prominent investor guest that season was Ryan Whitfield. She saw his name on the list of guests that Donna sent in the welcome email. His name was really all she noticed. She looked at it for a long time, like 10 whole minutes. After that, she went to the pharmacy and she bought the hair color they had. It was right there on the shelf. The darkest hair dye was what she wanted, so that is what she got. She was going to use the hair dye to change her hair to make it really dark like the hair dye she bought. You look like a different person, Stella said from the bathroom doorway, watching Emma rinse the dye out over the sink. Stella Moss was Emma's friend and had been Emma's roommate for 4 years. Stella Moss was eating cereal directly from the box, and she looked really upset. Stella Moss seemed unsettled by Emma's new look. Emma said, "That is the point. He is not going to remember you, Emily. You spilled coffee on a guy. Things like that happen to guys all the time. The rich guy probably has people spilling coffee on him every day. You spilled coffee on a guy, it is not a big deal. He looked at me for 4 seconds. Stella. The man does not forget things, I am telling you, Stella. That man has a memory that never fails. Stella. You are doing this because you think he is cute. I mean, let us be honest here. You have to admit that he is pretty cute. The thing is, you are doing this because you think he is cute, and that is the reason. Emma turned off the faucet. I am doing this because I need this contract, and I cannot walk into a 5-star resort and have the important guest recognize me as the waitress who argued with him over a tip. You have proved his point, though, she said. The tip was bad. You did spill the coffee on him, which is what he was complaining about, the coffee spill. Thank you, Stella. Deeply helpful as always. The drive to Aspen took 2 days. Emma arrived on a Thursday morning in January. The mountains were completely white and clean at that time. The air was really cold. It felt like pressing your face against a window. The Claridge Peak was at the edge of a pine ridge. It had a glass and stone facade. This facade caught the morning light. It looked amazing. Emma stood outside her car for a moment. She just breathed in the air. The Claridge Peak and the mountains of Aspen were really beautiful that morning. Emma was standing in front of the Claridge Peak. She was taking it all in. Donna Hale met Emma at the service entrance. She was a woman in her 50s. Donna Hale moved quickly. Had a kind way about her that Emma liked right away. Donna Hale showed Emma the rooms where they would hold events. She showed Emma the kitchen and how it was set up. Donna Hale also showed Emma the list of guests and how they were divided up. Then Donna Hale went over the schedule for the corporate retreat that Donna Hale and Emma would be putting on. This corporate retreat was going to start in 5 days. Emma wrote down a lot of notes. She made sure to ask Donna Hale some questions. By the time they were done looking around, Donna Hale was smiling at Emma. Donna said to me that I am going to do here. She also said that she can tell that the company is a place for me to work. Donna said that I am going to do here. Emma went to the staff room, started to unpack her things. She took out her work clothes, hung them up. Then she looked at herself in the mirror that was above the dresser. The brown hair was still a surprise to her every time she saw it. It made her eyes look really green. The brown hair made her look like she was older now, or maybe it was just that she did not look like herself anymore. Emma thought about her hair and how it changed the way she looked. She told herself that was fine. The idea was to be like herself, and that was the whole plan. Being like herself was what she was trying to do. The Whitfield party was going to get to the place the evening. Emma used Friday to get everything in the East Ballroom. She talked to the people who work in the kitchen. She checked the tablecloths and the lights. Emma was standing by the door, looking at a list of where people would sit on her clipboard. When the big glass doors opened and a blast of cold air came in, she did not look up away. The sound of luggage wheels and low voices got her attention. She heard Donna greeting someone. She took her time, finished marking her chart then. Something inside of her, a feeling that did not make sense, made her lift her eyes. Ryan Whitfield was standing in the middle of the lobby. He was wearing a coat and talking to Donna. I thought he looked taller than I remembered him. His brother Patrick was standing behind Ryan Whitfield, busy checking his phone. Ryan Whitfield was nodding his head at something Donna was saying. He did not have a smile on his face, but he did not look mean either. Emma took 1 step backward. She was behind a tall, decorative plant. The plant was really tall. Emma was now standing behind it. Then Ryan stopped talking in the middle of what he was saying. He turned his head slowly. He did this with a certainty. This is what someone does when they know what they are looking at. They do not doubt what they see. The man turned his head with this kind of certainty. His dark eyes moved across the lobby. Then they landed on her through the leaves of the plant. The dark eyes were really focused on her. The plant had leaves and his dark eyes looked at her right through them. Emma really did not move all. She just stayed in the place. The thing about Emma is that Emma did not make any movement. Ryan Whitfield looked at her for 4 seconds. It was the amount of time she spent at the diner. She could actually feel those seconds ticking. Then he turned back to Donna. Just kept talking to her like everything was fine. He did not seem to think that anything was out of the ordinary. He just kept talking to Donna like they had not been interrupted at all. The corner of his mouth had moved, just barely, just enough to notice. The corner of his mouth had... That was all, just enough. He knew that Emma spent the rest of that Friday evening telling herself the look did not mean anything. Rich men look at people all the time. The lobby had lighting, and Emma was standing near the entrance. There was no reason for Emma to think that he had recognized Emma through her different hair color, her staff uniform, and a decorative fern that was right there. Emma just thought that he was probably looking at everyone in the lobby. The look that he gave Emma meant nothing to Emma. She said this to herself 4 times before she went to bed. She did not believe it one time. On Saturday morning, Emma was in the ballroom by 7. She was arranging centerpieces for the welcome dinner. The dinner was for the retreat guests. These guests were 42 executives from a logistics company. This company is based in Denver. They were arriving that afternoon. Emma had 3 staff members who were helping her. She also had a timeline. She had built this timeline from scratch. Emma stayed busy. She had a lot to do. This helped her to almost forget about Ryan Whitfield entirely. Emma was focused on the centerpieces, and the timeline, and her staff members. The corporate welcome dinner was important. Emma did not want anything to go wrong. She kept thinking about the dinner and the guests from the logistics company. In Denver, almost the man walked into the ballroom at 9:30 with a cup of coffee and no explanation for being. He had on a gray sweater and dark trousers, and he looked like the kind of person who had already been up for 3 hours. The man stood near the doorway. He looked around the ballroom with an interest. Then the man's eyes found Emma across the room. The man kept looking at Emma. She stood up from the table she was leaning over. Then she held her clipboard in front of her. It was like she was using the clipboard as a shield to protect herself. The clipboard was right in front of her. The man walked toward the woman. He took a steps, and then the man walked some more, toward the woman. The woman was standing there. The man walked toward her. He said to her when he finally reached her, "You moved the speaker platform." He looked past her at the wooden stage that was near the window. The speaker platform was supposed to be in the middle. "You put the speaker platform to the left," Emma blinked. "I moved it because the afternoon light comes in from the west windows and would have put a glare directly behind anyone standing at the center. Where the speakers are now, the speakers will be visible and comfortable for the room, so the speakers will not cause any problems for the people in the room, and the speakers will be easy to see." Ryan looked at the windows, then he looked at the stage, then he looked back at Emma. He said, "That is a reason than anything our last planner gave us for changing things around," and he was talking about the new plan that the planner had come up with, and Ryan thought it was a good idea. Ryan liked that the new planner had a reason for what they were doing, and that was important to Ryan and to Emma too. Emma did not say a word. Ryan looked at her, then looked at her. He did not try to act like it was no deal. "You cut your hair, Ryan," said Dot. Emma felt the words hit her hard like a rock falling into a quiet lake. She made sure her face did not change. "I think you might be getting Emma mixed up with another person," he said. "I spilled coffee on your sleeve when I stood up fast and I knocked the tray. This was really bad of me. You were trying to help me? I was very short with you. The thing is, I had not slept for 31 hours. My brother had just told me that our Chicago deal was falling apart. I was very upset. I left a tip for you. I have thought about this a lot since then. I think about how I spilled coffee on your sleeve and how I was short with you. I also think about the tip I left for you." Emma looked at him. She just kept looking at him. Emma was really staring at him. Ryan said, "I owe you an apology." His voice was really straightforward and soft, so she did not know how to react to Ryan's words. Ryan's voice was calm and quiet, which made it hard for her to say anything back to Ryan. She looked down at her clipboard. She said it was 3 weeks ago. The woman was talking about something that happened with the thing she was holding her clipboard. She remembered that it was 3 weeks ago. "Yes, you knew who I was when you saw me. I was standing there. You recognized me," he said in 2 seconds, and he really meant it. There was no headedness in his voice. "You have a way of standing that's hard to forget," he said, and the way he said it was very sincere. The man was talking about the way this person stood. It was something that stuck with him. The way this person stood was hard to forget. Emma did not know what to do with that sentence. She was feeling a bit stuck. So she wrote something on her clipboard. It was not important. It gave her something to do with her hands. "I appreciate the apology," she said to the person who gave her the sentence. "I should get back to work on the things I need to do, Emma." She meant it. She really should get back to work on her tasks. Ryan nodded once, and then he left without saying anything about it. Ryan did not push the issue any further. Emma stood still for a moment after he was gone. Then one of her staff members showed up at her elbow. Asked about the napkin fold. Emma had to think about the napkin fold preference for a second. She pulled herself back into the morning, said what she thought about the napkin fold. Emma wanted everything to be perfect. The napkin fold was a part of that. The welcome dinner was a success. Emma did a job of taking care of everything that night. She has gotten really good at dealing with a lot of people at the time because of her job. She fixed a problem with the food, a microphone stand that was broken. She even moved a guest to a different seat because he did not like the person he was sitting with. Emma did all of this without looking stressed or upset. After it was over, Donna found Emma by the kitchen door and gave her arm a squeeze. That was all Emma needed to know that she had done a job. Ryan was seated at the table, and she could feel his presence. It's like a warm thing in a cold room. She did not look at Ryan directly all evening. Twice, when she walked to the other side of the room, she felt Ryan watching her. She knew Ryan was looking at her without even having to look at Ryan. The days that followed had a rhythm. Emma was busy from morning until late evening, which really helped her. Ryan had a lot of meetings and calls and things he had to do, so that kept him busy too. The resort was not big enough for Emma to avoid Ryan completely, and she found herself running into him in unexpected places. She saw him at the coffee station, near the staff corridor on Tuesday morning. Then she saw him again on the walkway on Wednesday, when the snow was falling softly. And they were both going in the same direction. Emma and Ryan kept running into each other like this. The library on Thursday afternoon was where she saw him. She had gone to borrow a tape measure. He was sitting alone reading something on his phone. His feet were on an ottoman. He looked like a person who had forgotten that he was important, even if it was for a little while. The library on Thursday afternoon was not really the place you would expect to see someone. Like him, just sitting there with his feet up reading his phone, looking much like a regular person. Not like the important person that the tape measure borrower knew. He really was. Each time he spoke to her, the conversation was really easy. He did not say anything that made her feel uncomfortable or worried. He asked her about the retreat she was getting ready for. He also made a comment about the music they played at the resort in the morning. It was too cheerful for his taste. On Wednesday, when it was snowing, he told her that he grew up in a town in Vermont. He said that the fresh air and the mountains still felt like home to him. This was true even though he had spent a lot of years working in office buildings with a lot of glass. The mountain air still felt like home to him. That is what the second retreat in Vermont meant to him. Emma had spoken from the heart without thinking about it, saying that she was from a small town where people farmed for a living about 40 minutes outside of Columbus. The thing that people in her town looked forward to every year was the county fair. Emma had even worked at the county fair for 3 summers, running the face painting booth. She did this because she needed to earn some money. She also really enjoyed the work equally so. Ryan had smiled at that. It really changed his face when Ryan smiled. She told Stella about it that night on the phone. The call lasted for 15 minutes. She was sitting on the floor of her staff room, wearing her socks. Emma said to Stella, "I am not doing anything," before Stella even had a chance to say a word. Emma wanted to make one thing clear. "I am just telling you what happened with the situation," Emma said to Stella. "You described his smile for 45 seconds. Stella said, "I was being thorough." Emma, Stella, "You like that person? You really like him?" Emma pressed her back against the bed frame. The mountain outside her window was dark. The stars were really bright. They seemed unfair. "It does not matter," Emma said. "He is a guest. I am staff. This contract ends in 4 weeks. Then I go home. I will build something with the money and the reference. That is the plan. I will use the money and the reference to build something. The contract with the guest will be over. I will go home." Stella said that plans can change sometimes. Plans do not always work out like we want them to, Stella said. Emma said, not this one. The woman really believed what she was saying at that moment. She was totally convinced of the thing she said. The woman believed it when she said it. Gloria Whitfield showed up on Saturday without letting anyone know she was coming. Emma found out about it from Patrick. He told her that he saw Gloria in the hallway outside the ballroom. The look on his face was like someone who had just stepped on something they did not expect to be. Patrick said to Emma, "My mother is here." He wanted Emma to know this before she saw Gloria. He also wanted Emma to know that he did not have anything to do with Gloria Whitfield coming to visit. Emma had seen pictures of Gloria Whitfield when she was browsing online late at night. That was also when she first found out about Ryan. Gloria Whitfield is an impressive woman in her late 60s. She has hair and is very neat. She was the one who started the family's real estate business before Ryan made it really big. Gloria Whitfield walked into the lobby wearing a cream-colored coat, had a small suitcase with her. She looked like someone who was used to being taken care of and never had to wait for anything. She saw Emma in an hour. Emma was looking over the flowers. For the retreat, when she heard someone walk up behind her and stop, she turned around. Found Gloria standing there just a few feet away from her. Gloria was looking at Emma with a face like she was checking out a house she might want to buy. Emma felt like Gloria was sizing her up, the arrangements, everything. Emma was getting a little uncomfortable with Gloria looking at her like that, so she waited to see what Gloria would say. Gloria said, "You are the person who plans the event." "Yes," Emma said. "My name is Emma Calloway. I am the one who is taking care of the Winter Retreat series for Donna Hale. The Winter Retreat series is something that I'm really excited about, and I am making sure everything is perfect. For Donna Hale and the Winter Retreat series," Gloria said, "I know what you are doing here." She then looked at them, said, "I am asking who you are." Gloria wanted to know who this person was, so she asked again, "I am asking who you are." Emma held her clipboard, met the woman's eyes. "I am someone who's very good at my job," she said with confidence, looking straight at the woman. Emma wanted to make an impression, so she made sure to say that she is very good at her job, the job that Emma does every day. Gloria's face stayed the same. "My son has been hanging out with the staff." Emma said that Ryan has been really nice and professional with every person at this resort. "Ryan is always being courteous and professional with the people at the resort," Emma said. Gloria said, "I am not questioning his manners. I am telling you this because I think it is better to be straightforward. Ryan has things he needs to do that are not just about this mountain. He has a reputation, a company, and a future that need him to do things in a way. A waitress from Ohio who just changed her hair color does not fit into Ryan's plans." The words landed the way Gloria intended them to. Emma felt the words in her throat. She stood still and let herself feel the words fully rather than flinch away. From the words, Emma said that she understands what I am telling her in a voice. Gloria said that was good. Then she walked away. Emma stood alone among the flowers. She just stood there for a long time. Then Emma went back to her work. By Sunday evening, she had made up her mind. She was going to finish the setup for the third retreat. She had done a lot of work on it already, so Donna could easily take care of the rest. Then she would leave on Monday morning. She would write a detailed document for Donna so she knows what to do. She would do everything in a way and make sure everything is tidy. She would not tell anyone the reason why she is leaving. She would go home and feel proud of herself because she did not let people use her for their own plans. She had made her decision. That is what mattered to her. The third retreat and everything else would be fine. Without her, she was packing her tote bag in the corridor. Outside the ballroom, when Ryan found her, he looked at her face, then he looked at the bag, then he looked at her face again. He said, "You are leaving to the woman." The woman had a bag. It seemed like the woman was going somewhere. He looked at the woman's face. He looked at the bag again. The bag was. The woman was ready to go. He said to the woman, "You are leaving. The setup is almost done. Donna has all the things that Donna needs. My mother said something to you." "I want to know what my mother told you. What were the exact words that my mother used when she was talking to you about me?" "That was not a question. Emma looked at him steadily. She was honest with Emma, and Emma respects that about her. Emma thinks that is really important, and Emma appreciates that she was honest with Emma. Ryan was quiet for a moment. The corridor was empty. You could barely hear the sounds from the resort. They seemed really far away. Emma, he. This was the first time Ryan had used her name. Emma felt it deeply. I have spent 3 years doing what the structure of my life required, Ryan said. I have been in rooms of people who needed things from me. I have given them everything they wanted, except for one thing. That one thing was the ability to make my choices, which I kept for myself. He looked at her with those quiet eyes. I choose this. I really do. I choose to find out what this thing is. I am asking you, please do not leave me. I want to know what this is. I want to find out with you, not without you. I am asking you, please do not go. I choose this. I choose you. Emma looked at him for a long time. She thought about the diner. She remembered the 4 seconds that felt like forever. She thought about the dye in her hair. Emma also thought about the plan she had made. She could not forget the way he had walked into the ballroom on Saturday morning, just to tell her he was sorry. Emma thought about all of this, and she thought about him and the diner and the plan and the way he walked into the ballroom. Your mother is not going to like this, she said. My mother will come around, he said. She always does when I stop asking my mother for permission. The third party that Emma had almost given up on ended with a dinner. Every single guest said it was the dinner of the season. Emma made sure everything was perfect. She took care of every little thing herself. Ryan sat at his table. Just watched her. He did not even try to hide it. He just sat there. Looked at her. Patrick went up to Emma near the deserts. Talked to her in a very serious tone. He told her that he had been trying to get his brother to look at someone like that for 4 years. He said to Emma that she should think about staying with them. On the evening before the resort cleared out, Ryan walked Emma out to the garden terrace. The fire pit was still burning low against the mountain dark. It was really quiet. The snow had stopped falling. The air was clean and cold. It was full of stars. Ryan and Emma were standing there looking at the stars. It was very beautiful. The resort was going to be empty, but for now, Ryan and Emma were enjoying the garden terrace together. The man told her that the color red looks good on her. He looked at her hair when he said this. Red really suits her, he thought to himself, looking at her hair again. Emma. It was easy and real and warm. She said, I know. Then she said, I have an appointment in 2 weeks. Emma felt happy when she laughed. She was looking forward to her appointment in 2 weeks. Emma thought about what she would do for her appointment. Ryan looked at her with that smile that made his whole face look different. He said, I will be in Columbus in 3 weeks. Then he added, if you want to have dinner, you can choose the place this time. Somewhere without coffee service, Emma said. He said that he will bring his cup. He wants to be safe. She laughed again, and the fire crackled between them, and the mountain sat enormous and quiet behind them both, holding the whole thing gently, the way good places do when something real and unhurried is finally allowed to begin.